Hello everyone. It's just later evening on Sunday, and my two sons and I just spent the last 2 days putting together my new Force USA G12 All-In-One-Trainer. The reason I'm making this video about my home gym and putting this unit together is to share with those that might need the help one day to put one of these things together and talk about all the difficulties that we had. We put some stuff together and had to take it apart. So I'm here to hopefully help others that try to build this great unit, and this is a very good unit. I really enjoy this unit. I've been using it a little bit today, and I'm excited about developing all of my workout plans moving forward on a daily basis. So let's talk about the gotchas on here. First thing I want to talk a little bit about is these little plastic pieces that fit on top of this sliding unit for doing curls and whatever else you end up with, using the stack of weights in the back. These little plastic pieces had a very difficult time sliding over the top of this bar. In fact, I broke one of these. And because I ordered blue, I had 2 extra gray units, and so I borrowed a new plastic piece off of one of my gray units. So be very gentle when you slide this unit over. The other place that you need to all be a little more careful about is how tight you torque these bolts. We torqued this one too tight and it bent the metal. And so this metal will give, so you need to be careful. And I'd also want to talk a little bit about all the cabling. You're going to get 6 cables with this unit, and it's the cables that gave us most of the problems because the instruction manual simply is not very good. It is, in fact, I would classify it as useless. And so I had to do a lot of digging in, using Google and find other YouTube videos about partial installations and things that people put up there. But they still didn't go over what I feel is enough detail on how to run the cables. So let's talk about the cable that runs down to the Smith unit. And you can see that it's going to be the shortest of all the cables. You have 6 cables, so it's going to be one of the 2 shortest. And you can see where it attaches here. And it's going to feed straight up through the unit upper bar, around this top roller, around this roller, around this roller, and then down into this tube, which it's attached to a 15-inch counterweight, which is pretty heavy. Well, this is where we made a big mistake putting this together. I had it all together, and if you notice my ceiling, not very tall ceiling. It's only 92 inches. This unit is 90 inches tall. Guess what? We didn't have the counterweight in the tube already, so we had to pull it all down, sink the counterweight in, screw it in, and run the cable out the top. So there's a hint for you. Put the counterweight in early, especially if you have low-hanging ceilings. In fact, a 96-inch ceiling wouldn't be enough. Maybe an 8-foot is, but know that those counterweights are 15 inches long, and they go up and down inside this tube, up and down inside this tube. All right, so there's the one cable on each side. Okay, where do you put the other 4 cables? Well, you're going to have 2 cables that have this fat end. And so I had to take this wheel off and put it through, put the wheel back on. Put another roller right here. Another roller right here. And it comes around this roller. And you can see a double roller here that you put together, and you got to put these rollers in, but it wraps around the first roller and comes all the way back up and attaches here. So it attaches here, comes down around this roller, up around this roller here, through the unit, around this roller, and down. Now a little trick. If you notice, there's this, you can see the cable here as it runs through. You see this cable here? That's to the Smith machine. Have this cable on the inside, closest to the inside. Don't let this cable be on the other side of this one here. This has to be on the outside, this one on the inside, so that they run straight. I had them the other way initially, and it was wrong. because they weren't pulling straight. So that's a hint on those cables. So you have to run it on both sides. Now for the other cables, the last two, I went reverse. And what we did is, after we stacked all the weights on here, we attached it. It goes through a hole right there. It goes around a big wheel, around a little wheel, back all the way down. And you can see how it wraps around this wheel. It comes underneath the weight stack. Underneath the weight stack to this roller, and here it's coming around this other roller. So it's this motion that moves the stacks up and down. So when you pull on the weights in the front of the unit, this goes up and down. And if you notice, you're going to have it goes down here to another little roller, through the machine, through another little roller, all the way up, and it attaches right here. And it's probably going to be the bottom bolt. We tried the others, but it's this one is where we ended up. Another little trick when you feed it through, make sure you feed it through the middle of these two bolts right here. Not underneath it, not above it. It's got to go through the middle. And what we did is, I took this out initially and fed it, and then took that little roller and put it down and installed it after I had the cable run through. So I hope that helps give you a picture of the cabling, and watch out for your ceiling height. And looking at the rest of this unit, where else did we have some gotchas? You feed this one side first, and then you have to lean this post out to put this in and install this on this side. So you've got to be careful on your brackets up here. So you can see where it plugs into. You have this bracket it fits into. This is another lock thing that goes up into it. You've got to make sure, so you have a lock nut, you have the unit, you have the safety, and you have a rubber stopper here, and it goes into the bottom unit. So it's always, another rubber piece here. So look at how that's together and how you put all these rubber pieces together, because it's hard to see all that in the diagram. And as I said, I left all of these main bolts loose initially and didn't torque them down until I got everything in and fitted. On both sides, there's a lot of bolts. And to give you an idea of what it looks like up here, you can see the small wheels. So you have 2 small wheels here. There's a total of 6 small wheels, 2 here, 2 down in the base on each side. So there's your total of 6. And you can see how this is all installed up here. And it's, as I said, the cabling is what gave us the biggest problems. And so I want to make this easier for anyone else that does that. How this thing goes together, because this is where we were lacking knowledge and it took us some time to figure it out. So we really couldn't tell from the diagram. So that's pretty much all of it. As you can see, it's going to be great fun. Great fun. I'm going to create different workout days for different parts of the body. And I'm really hopeful that I get my money's worth out of this, because these units are expensive. But I have a feeling it's going to be well worth it. And it's my final addition to my home gym. I'm going to get 6 more plates. I'm going to get a pair of 10s, 25s, and 45s. And that'll give me a full set of up to 340 pounds, which is going to be plenty. And that's how I'll do it. Got my barbells. I can do everything else on the all-in-one trainer here, and then my cardio. So for living here in the Pacific Northwest with all the rain, I can do it all indoors. So I hope this video is helpful. If you have comments, don't hesitate to post them or questions. I'll do my best to answer them. But as I said, it's been a long time since I've posted anything on YouTube, and I only did it because this was a lot of work. We spent 14 hours putting this together over 2 days. And, yeah, we made some mistakes that added a few hours to it, but I want to make it easier for the next person that comes along. So if you need any more help on how this cabling runs, just post some questions. I'll see what I can do. So anyway, for this 62-year-old, I'm working out pretty hard for the last 6-7 months. And now I can continue to work even harder here at home now that I got my final piece of home gym equipment that finally came into stock. So maybe I'll post some future stuff on how it's going. And to the rest of you, I wish you all the very best and take care. Bye-bye now.